What was the wedding day really like? The morning of the wedding, I was so calm. I had absolutely no nerves about my soon-to-be husband, just so excited to finally meet him. I wasn't worried about what he would look like, as I tend to fall personality, not face, and with all the personality testing, I was confident that his personality would be a good one for me. I got nervous that I might trip down the aisle or something, but at no point was I nervous about him. The only doubts I had about Benjamin himself was when I was standing in the room ready to go and there was a hold-up. We were all stood in our dresses with the flowers in our hands, waiting to go for what felt like an eternity. I even asked if Benjamin had gone out the bathroom window, but I was assured that he was there, and it was because they needed to make sure all the cameras were perfectly set up, as there was only to be one shot at getting the moment we had all spent months working towards. Finally, it was time to go. We spotted a table plan on the way and quickly had a sneaky peek at the surname of my betrothed, Jardine. Oh dear. I was bullied by a girl with that surname for having big lips, and here I was about to walk down the aisle to what could be her brother. This was the reason I was rather infamously not smiling in the photos as I entered the room, worsened by the fact that as I now stepped towards Benjamin, I didn't know where to look. I couldn't see him clearly from the end of the long aisle, so I decided I didn't want to see his face until I could make out his reaction clearly. I looked to his guests, and all of a sudden I was overwhelmed by the fact that they would be judging me to see if I was good enough for their boy. I looked to my guests and saw several bursting into happy tears, which almost set me off, so I looked up and I realised I could now see his face clearly. The first thing I saw was his huge smile. He looked like the cat that got the cream, and he winked at me, which instantly made me burst out with a relieved laugh. Guests at the ceremony have likened it to a comedy act. We didn't stop laughing, cheekily taking the mickey out of each other. I noticed he had fake tan on, to which he replied, "Nothing wrong with a bit of fake bake. I see you got a bit on yourself." And my response was, "No, I'm mixed race actually. Have you met my dad?" And of course, I didn't let him get off lightly with those £400 slippers and no socks either, telling him I would buy him socks. One of his friends even shouted out, "Oh, he's met his match here." Ben also showed me a tattoo of our wedding date that he had got before we even met. I wasn't initially attracted to him. This may sound strange, but I found myself looking at him like lots of little puzzle pieces that I was unable to work out if I liked the whole picture. He had well-kept nails, but he had a receding hairline. He was wearing no socks, but he had the cheekiest smile. I wasn't blown over by his looks, but he was definitely cute. Our first kiss was at the moment when they said, "You may now kiss the bride," which was honestly a magical moment, as how many people can say that they were married before their first kiss to their spouse? And more than that, we have a professional photograph of our first kiss with us both dressed in our finery. Okay, it's a little strange to think of your first kiss being in front of not only your close friends and family and in-laws whose names you don't even know yet, but also millions of complete strangers. Meeting/marrying Ben was brilliant. I was truly relieved that we had fireworks of chemistry. The wedding day didn't feel at all like I expected it to. It felt like how I would expect a wedding to someone I already loved would be. All my friends and family said the same thing, that apart from the TV cameras, it felt like a normal wedding, and the whole wedding party from both sides got on so well. One close family member of his told me that no matter what happened, he would be absolutely loyal. I told her that I would be too. And if I was ever tempted to stray or want to break up, I would talk to him about it, never cheat on him. She reassured me that he was of the same character. His mother explained to me that he had been so hurt by ex-girlfriends and he was extremely fragile. She had been very worried about him doing this. I promised her that I would always be kind and patient with him. I took my promise to her very seriously, and it turned out to be one of the biggest moments that defined how the balance of our relationship would go, which I will explain more later.